Good afternoon. This is Brian Shannon from Alpha Trends Blogspot. It's Thursday, the 19th of October, 2006. I've got the semiconductor holders up on the screen right now, and you can see that the market did come down and touch on that 50-day moving average. And so far, it looks like maybe we're going to find a little bit of support there, but it's tough to call it support yet. We can say that this trend line is also helping in that area. But I think really most importantly, you're going to be probably about this low right here at about 33.10. Breaking below that is going to be a big negative for the market. Not win, but if it breaks below that. And what I think is more likely is that we're going to rally up a little bit in here, maybe up towards that 35, up near that 200-day moving average again. And that probably wouldn't happen until next week or the week after. And depending on whether it holds up there or not is going to determine whether this market breaks down. But I think that you have to keep a very close eye on the action in the semiconductors. The 10-minute time frame, we'd been watching this move here from 35.95 down to 34.65, and the move from 35.08. We were looking for a move to 33.78 as far as a target from the measured move, and that would have put it right about here. You can see the market overshot that a little bit. And you've got, the measured move, the 50-day moving average, and the trend line all coming together in that area to provide at least temporary relief for the market. Not necessarily that it makes a good buy in there, but it just says, hey, maybe now we need to rest, reassess things, let the market consolidate, and then see what happens. And I think that's the prudent course of action. Tomorrow, again, is options expiration day. I don't see a lot of edge trading tomorrow. In fact, I'll be teaching that class. Still time to sign up, so go ahead and check that on the blog. S&Ps, I could see it pull back to this trend line at some point. However, as overbought as the market is, it continues to get more overbought. And, right now it continues to find support at this rising 5-day moving average. And it keeps testing it, keeps testing it, keeps testing it. We're getting lower highs, but we didn't make a lower low. It's just a dull consolidative mode right now that the S&Ps are in. And until it breaks, I'd say really 136 and a quarter would get me a lot more defensive. All these moving averages are flattening out, including that longer term one. So we remain vulnerable to a pullback. But it's a pullback within a primary uptrend, a great uptrend. Maybe we'll get support along that 10-day moving average. That's about 135.85 or so. But still not looking for anything major on the downside. The mid caps, MDY, nice consolidation going on in here above this prior level of resistance. And, just a nice tight consolidation is the way to look at this one. The market was making these lower highs. It made lower lows yesterday, but higher lows today. So perhaps this market's getting ready to move higher again. All in all, it's tough to say. But again, we are in a primary uptrend, so we have to give the benefit of the doubt to the buyers. On the NASDAQ 100, we've got this market, coming down maybe to test the trend line near that 20-day moving average. If so, that would be at about that 41.40 level. We've been kind of keeping an eye on 41.20 as a more important level. So I think 41.20 still remains important on the Qs. And here on the 10-minute time frame, you see we had that gap lower, and we've been making this series of lower highs and lower lows up until we made a higher low in here today. So just no edge really in short-term trading this market right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stocks. I'm going to do this all in one video because I don't feel like doing two of them and uploading them. NRPH, we got stopped out of this one. I had my stop a little bit too tight and, got involved somewhere over in here, I believe, yesterday. Set my stop down there, and it was about a penny off the low. So, again, hopefully you guys are making these trades your own and adjusting the stops accordingly because the stock had a really nice rally in there. And, it stinks to get stopped out by a couple pennies, but sometimes that's what saves you. CRIS, this is that low price stock that we'd been talking about, CRIS. And this one here hasn't really made it past its resistance yet. Keep an eye on that. We're in it. I said a stop goes about 153. I think maybe you can ratchet that. Yeah, keep it at about 153 or so. AVNR, this is that biotech that's supposedly having some big news. I've suggested buying that on strength with a stop down here. Stopped out for a small loss on AVNR. On Boom, I had suggested selling the stock short below 31.20. It did trade a low of 31.19. Hopefully that wasn't anyone's print from based off my recommendation, because the stock rallied very quickly off that level and would have been stopped out for a small loss. Celgene, I said, hey, I'm bad at setting stops. It looked great this morning, then gave up all of its gains in Celgene. Amazon. This one didn't meet the entry parameters for a short. I stupidly shorted it anyways and got what I deserved, which was a nice little loss in here on Amazon. So got to stay disciplined. Not all, it's tough to do. Curagen, I thought might look good. Looks like it's kind of breaking down here on the short-term time frame. It really needed to get above that level. I don't have my notes as far as what I wrote. I thought I said above the 80-cent level. I'm not really sure. And MEMY, I thought this one needed to get above 3.9. What the heck am I looking at? Not 3.19. Anyways, this stock didn't really show much strength and not much reason to get involved.